welcome to Listen to Our Teens. I'm your co-host, Samuel Richardson.
So right now we're in our backyard, and I'm about to show you where we normally have our garden.
One of the benefits to having a garden is food. We actually save our food. Some of it we eat immediately, like cantaloupe, but others, like bell pepper, we actually save for the rest of the year so we don't have to go to the store. We have a small sample of the stuff we have picked from the garden. One of the things, as you can tell, we have cooked a pot of squash. We have eaten it, but we have eaten some of it, but we still have the squash. And you can clearly tell that we have eaten the cantaloupe. And also we have bell pepper, which a lot of people don't think about this, but you can actually chop up your bell pepper in whatever way you use it for, like a recipe, halves, quarters, or just chop them up. And you can put them in the freezer, and no matter if you grew them or you bought them, they are still just as fresh as they were when you first got them. Now I'm going to tell you some of the health benefits of some of the stuff we grow. Bell peppers can function as antioxidants, which help protect against chronic diseases such as cancer. It also helps boost the immune system, which helps fight against infectious bacteria, and helps respiratory health because it has nutrients such as potassium, manganese, magnesium, and vitamin C, which are all known to fight various respiratory problems such as asthma and lung infection. There are many different types of squash. A few of them are crookneck, zucchini, and butternut. Most of the time when you think of squash, you either think of butternut or crookneck. Many types of squash are sound sources of dietary fiber, which helps regulate the sugar levels in the body, which makes it very good for diabetes management. Cantaloupe helps relieve stress. It contains potassium that promotes supply of oxygen to the brain, which helps concentration and stress. It also aids in weight loss. It's actually a common ingredient in many weight loss recipes. This is because it has an impressive amount of water and fiber, which are essential to maintain a healthy body weight. If you are tired of snacking in between meals, eat a cantaloupe to stay fuller for longer. Cantaloupe is also loaded with incredible levels of vitamin A, which help take care of your skin, making it more radiant and supple. So this is our fall garden. It's the same exact plots, except we just changed out the soil, and we took out the seeds and changed out the soil because you need new soil every time you plant. These are our collard greens over here, and then we have kale, and then we have some more collard greens over there. And the reason why we have two sets of collard greens is that way when we get done with one and we pull it and get ready to eat it, by the time that one's done, we can go to another one and they'll be ready. So we basically have it to where we're always pulling from our garden and being able to eat whatever is growing out there. So we have to have some lettuce over here. It didn't come out as well as we thought it would, but it shows that not every time it will come out right, but you never know. And as you see, we do have the garden in the exact same spots that we had earlier this year. All you have to do to start a new garden after you have an old one is just change out the soil really, and then of course put seasoning in. But you need to change out the soil because you don't need any of the old seeds or roots in it. And make sure to keep it watered at all times because you need to make sure that it's always wet and it's always getting its nutrients that it needs. One of the main things we use is broth. Now, if you don't want the actual meat, but you still want the meat flavor, a good thing to use the McKay's chicken style broth is a vegan broth. It's good if you don't want the meat. Other things you can use is olive oil, garlic, onion, and crushed red pepper. We use all of that whenever we're cooking our greens and kale. So I've already washed my hands, and now we're about to start cooking the greens. So I'm about to start moving the greens over to the pot to let it cook down. So now we're about to get the kale with the collards. So I know you're probably wondering how we're going to get all these greens into that pot. Well, you actually have to cook it down while you're adding. So I'm going to go ahead and put the top on the greens already in here and let it cook down. I want you to see the same pot of greens that we just put in there after a couple minutes of cooking. And now we're about to add more. And another thing we do is, I forgot to mention, while we're letting it cook down, we are also stirring it, letting the ones that's already been cooked or been in the broth already go to the top, and let the ones that have not been at the top, let them be at the bottom so that we can cook it down. Cooking greens is a slow process. It's something you really do not do if you're in a rush. You do it on a day when you don't really have much to do. So we're about halfway through putting the greens in. Right now we're about to put this blend of seasonings right here. It is garlic powder, salt, white ground pepper, seasoned salt, and a little bit of sugar. Not everybody puts any of these things, like every one of these things in here. It's just really what you want in there. Um, so yeah. And now we're about to add the rest of the green. And now we're about to add the rest of the greens. So earlier we filled this up 3 times with greens, and we've already let it cook. It is now pretty much done, and we are now just gonna take off the heat and let it sit. But I'm just gonna show you what it looks like now after we filled it up 3 times and let it cook.
Tune in to one of Jackson's newest radio station, WFNH 95.1 FM Radio, Jackson, Mississippi. CEO, founder, and president Deborah Gant. Or visit the radio website at www.3abnradio951.com.
We have with us Pastor Marshall Johnson. So Pastor Johnson, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a pastor here in South Central Conference. I'm now pastoring the Lee Memorial and Columbus Church. And we've been here about 3 years.
And you all might be hearing some knocking going on. There's a little bit of construction going outside, so please just ignore it for a little bit. But we're actually here to hear about your garden. So what do you have planted?
Oh, I'm glad that you asked. We have a few things that are planted. We have some trees and then some fruits and vegetables. We have muscadine that's growing, and that's a vine, and it's growing on the fence line outside. You'll see that. And then we come around, we have the cantaloupe. And with the cantaloupe, we also have, my wife actually planted a few tomatoes. We're just about all gone. But I'm really excited about the kiwi. My first time planting the kiwi is about 2 years old, and muscadine is about 2 years old as well. And then if you come on down, we have the cucumbers. The season is just about over. There's only about 2 or 3 that's left. And then the field peas, purple peas and black-eyed peas. Now, when you look at, if you come around, you come to the fruit trees. We have 3 peach trees and 2 apple trees. And actually, the 2 of the apple trees are 2 years old, and the peach tree is also 2 years old. The other 2 trees are 1 year old. Peach.
Wow. And you said you were planting some cantaloupe. Ooh, I really love me some cantaloupe. We at our house we grow cantaloupe. I'm not sure if we planted it this year, but we've done it before, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. But so do you feel that's important? Like, what made you start growing?
Well, a number of reasons. First, we had a garden several years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And then when we got here, because we're going to settle in the area, I wanted to try my hand for the last couple of years, just grow it. But the other reason is that I want to grow something natural. I don't want to always have to go to the store, buy a can, or buy something frozen that's in the store, because I don't know the shelf life. But if I can go out to the garden and pull out my cantaloupe, I know it's fresh. If I can go and pull a plant one of the kiwi plants, kiwi, and eat it, then I know where it's been, I know what's been on it, and I know how fresh it is. So I want to do fresh, but then there's a third reason. We also want to use it as a ministry. If our garden is large enough, not only can we provide for ourselves, but we can also share what we have with others.
I heard you say something about you do it natural. So how do you keep the bugs off of it?
Well, this year I didn't use anything, but my brother shared with me that you can actually do peppermint oil and mix it with any other fragrance that you want, and it will keep all of the bugs off of your plants. And I think I was sharing from while we were walking, that some of the times I just see a piece of fruit that I'm not going to eat. Maybe the bugs have got to it. I cut it off and just cut it up just for the bugs, because you need the bumblebees in order to pollinate your trees and your fruits, in order for them to produce. What I did learn is that kiwi, actually there's male and female. And so you have to have at least 2 of those plants in order to get the fruit that you want, and a couple of others. There are some other things that you want to do, and it's wonderful for little kids so that they can see how things actually grow, that they don't actually come from Walmart or from some of the other stores, but you can pick them up there. But someone has to actually grow that fruit of those vegetables.
Yeah, it is good that people don't just think they come from the store. They need to know that it's grown somewhere, and it all starts from somewhere. But you said you wanted to do this for a ministry. So how do you believe that this is gonna be bigger? You believe are you hoping that it gets bigger than it is?
Oh yeah, definitely. For instance, our cantaloupe area, we just planted it probably 3 by 3, and I'm going to expand that to probably a 6 by 6. And that way I can give some fruit to the church or some people that I meet. But I have almost 3 acres out here. And so my idea, when I retire, because I'm doing a little bit while I'm in ministry, but when I retire, I'm planning on having probably 2 or 3 more trees that I'm planting. In fact, I have already, from the cantaloupe and from some of the other fruits that I've eaten, I've also saved the seeds. And actually, you can plant 1 seed in a cantaloupe and get about 80, one plant that will produce a cantaloupe, you can get 80 seeds out of that.
Wow.
So that not only will you have enough seeds that will carry you over, but you can also give seeds to the other church members and allow them to start growing.
I never thought about that because I forgot the cantaloupe actually has multiple
man.
seeds in them. I forgot about that.
In fact, we ate one cantaloupe and we took the seeds, and of course they have to dry out. So we got the seed out and we put them out in the sun for them to dry out. And it's because there's no fruit left on it. The ants come and get the fruit that's left. They don't bother the seed, and then they take it back to their little hive and they eat it off for during the winter. So I then take the seed, I can plant it, or either I can give it away.
That's probably how God intended it too. You eat the fruit, you give it out there, let the ants take it, then you take it, throw it out.
Exactly.
That was actually pretty smart. I never thought about that.
And actually, ants are a great predator for other animals that will attack your garden.
Wow. So if you're gonna start gardening, what's some easy plants that you can grow?
Actually, one of the easiest plants to grow is cantaloupe. I think I was sharing earlier, is that all you actually need is little space, and the Lord will provide the rain. The minerals that you need in the ground are usually already there. They're very easy. Just throw some seeds out there. Make sure that in the hottest part of the season that it gets enough water. So you might need to have a little something to bring water in. But my wife actually started with some buckets. She took some tomato plants and put there, and she had, I think, probably about 5. And we got tomatoes out of those. Something very easy, doesn't take a lot of work. But you will need probably some compost, some fertilizer. And you can get that at Walmart or one of the other stores for like $2. But it's very easy to grow. In fact, most of the things are easy to grow. The kiwi, all I did was put the plant in the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's growing. So the trees are pretty easy. It takes a little bit more time with them. So if you're patient, they'll teach you some patience. But they're quite easy to grow.
Wow. I never thought about it like that, but when we kind of started our little garden, it hadn't really, it does good, but every now and then. But I thought about it when you said that most of the hardest part of growing is when there's not much rain happening. That's about the hardest time because then you have to go out there and water the plant, but and try not to burn them. but
Well, to answer the burning part, what you want to do is, if you're going to water in the morning, early in the mornings before the sun comes, that way the water has an opportunity to seep down. The second thing is that you want to make sure that you water in the afternoon. That way they get the refreshment of the evening and overnight for that water to seep down to the roots, because the roots are the key.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I always try to water them at night, but I never thought about that. Okay, I'll make sure to use that next time.
Yeah.
Tune in to one of Jackson's newest radio station, WFNH 95.1 FM Radio, Jackson, Mississippi. CEO, founder, and president Deborah Gant. Or visit the radio website at www.3abnradio951.com.
So I saw that some of the trees didn't bear fruit. Is that normal?
In many cases, usually if the tree is going to bear, it will have the blooms on it early. But there are some off seasons. For instance, I heard the planter was sharing that because we had a lot of rain, certain trees were not going to develop. what we're not going to produce. So I noticed that when we've had trees before, that there are off seasons. Sometimes it's every 4 years and sometimes every 7 years. So that there are off seasons where you just, like you said, we don't want to give up on the tree because the tree is going to be there. It's going to take a little time, maybe it teaches us patience, but bear with it, make sure that it gets the rain and the sunshine, and it'll bear.
Wow, so it could be 4 years and 7 years. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, but it's like only a year unless there's some disease has hit the tree. Usually it's off for a year and then it comes back.
Okay, so if a tree doesn't have anything, I'll make sure to just be patient, wait the next year.
Yes.
Hopefully something grows on it.
Yes.
But so gotta make sure to teach you patience with your trees and with your plants.
It is amazing. I was studying Patriarchs and Prophets, and from that book it shared that God had a reason for putting Adam and Eve in the garden, to teach them something not only about patience, about strength, about working, but also about God, and that God provides the very things that we need. So it's awesome.
Wow. So thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, I enjoyed it.